45 people on the freakiest thing they've seen that no one believes them about. Another car with the same license plate as mine. I used to take a shortcut through a field to get to work. I live in Ireland. Anyway, lying in the middle of this field was a dead penguin. Went to a movie and the projector broke. Me and my friends left and I had a flash of a car accident in my brain. I told them jokingly. 10 minutes later we were T-boned by a drunk driver. Still barely believe myself, but it is true. I've never been much for sports, but one day in middle school I was leaving the gym from PE. Everyone else was already out in the hallway. I'm about 3/4 of the way down one end of the basketball court when I absent-mindedly toss a basketball over my head towards the basket on the other end of the gym. Swoosh. I think to myself, no fucking way, and walk out. I've never spoken of this for fear of being called out on BS. I once had a dream in 4th grade that I woke up from bed, got dressed, and continued on with my day in the dream. And then saw a black van zooming towards me, and then I woke up. Same exact small events happen in the real day, and a black van zooms right past me as I was going to cross the street. This affected me throughout the 4th grade, and I barely talked to anyone. I was too amazed and horrified about the theory that I had just died and respawned like in a video game. I still freak out when I think about it. When I was around 4, I had a Barbie doll that I loved to play with and take to bed. I remember carrying it around with me everywhere. One night, I'm turning over to go to bed and I see that my doll's eyes are glowing green. I freak out and drop the doll and it rolls underneath my bed. I go to sleep after that. The next morning, I wake up, check underneath the bed for my doll, and it's not there. I can't find it anywhere. I never saw that doll again. The older I get, the freakier I realize that was. Younger me just wrote it off as a loss. I had cartoons to watch, cereal to stuff my face with. My son had one of those brainy baby activity toy things. It started making noises when no one was touching it. I just figured the batteries were going. One night I was up late and it starts doing its thing, making noises and whatnot. I thought it was kind of funny. If I said something to my husband, the toy seemed to respond. This thing was designed that after a period of inactivity, it would say, "Where did you go?" and turn off. That night, it said, "Where did you go?" So we freaked and threw it away. This wasn't me, but my little sister, who would have been around 4 or 5 at the time, tells my parents who saw my great-grandmother in our living room window while we were playing outside. Not until later that night did my parents find out that she had passed away earlier that day. Floating blobs of glowing jelly lights in the sky one night. They were dancing. I thought it was ghosts or aliens, which was kind of freaky, so I shouted for my dad to come and look. He seemed freaked. The next day when I mentioned it, he dismissed it like it wasn't real and it was just artificial lights for something. My dad, after he died, I was dealing with some family stuff, trying to figure out the line between reverence for my family and not letting them screw me over for funeral planning stuff. They're religious and my dad wasn't, blah blah blah. I only saw him briefly, but I smelled his cologne and that god-awful original Listerine that he was obsessed with. He didn't say anything, but I felt calm and suddenly had all the funeral planning answers to my problems afterwards. I've been seeing my dog in my house quite often, usually at least once a week. She's been dead and buried in my backyard since August. Every time I see her, she's stationary and not moving, but looking back at me. I always tell her, "Maddie, I love you, but you have to go back, go back." I tremble, of course, because I'm scared shitless each time, but when I blink, she's gone. Setting, Robertsdale, Alabama. I was shooting my dad's recurve bow one day at a little target I'd placed about 30 yards in front of me. Eventually tired of it and, due to the rain, hopped under the porch and just stared into their neighbors' fields. I saw some deer exit the woods. Pretty cool. I like wildlife and I hunt, so deer sightings are always good, even if just to watch how they move and work together to keep an eye out for each other. Suddenly, I noticed them looking into the woods, spook, and begin to walk away quickly. A motherfucking panther jumps out of the damned woods, and as the deer begin to run off, another motherfucking panther comes out and gives chase. According to my dad, Alabama has no panthers. They all supposedly died out or some shit years ago. My ass. I was walking down my driveway. It was late at night, and my parents had asked me to go check the mail since everyone seemed to have forgotten to do it sooner. As I strolled past my dad's car from inside, I see this ghostly white face of a girl, and her hand comes rushing up against the window, like she was trying to charge at me and grab me. I worked at a special needs group home when I was a teenager. One of the guys I worked with couldn't talk, but guys, I swear to God, one day when the place was empty, he looked right at me and said, "Hello, darling." Nobody believed me. I swear it happened. My coworkers joked about it for ages, even got a shirt from them all for Christmas that said, "Hello, darling." A freaking werewolf man. My baseball team and I in high school had a team camping trip. I'd used the restroom and went to the river. Anyway, I look across and see what looked like a big doggish thing. Then not 2 seconds later, it gets up on 2 legs and runs the fuck away. I'm not sure what I saw, but I'm pretty sure it was Sirius Black. My second roommate out of high school used to do a line of cocaine before he went to bed almost every night, and he slept like a baby. When I was real small, not sure how young, but pretty sure it's my earliest thing I still remember, I had a coloring book that I colored over half the pictures in using crayons, and remember spending ages to try and keep in the lines, but one day I opened it and none of the pictures had been colored in. I'm still confused about it to this day. I'm so sure it's the same book and everything because I remember a tear on the second page. I live on the second story of my apartment building, and one night my dog came into my room and licked my face so I could take her outside. As I was getting up, I felt really uneasy for some reason. I live with my girlfriend, and she was at work at the time. I went outside with my dog and took her around the block. As I was approaching my building, my dog started barking. I looked up at my bedroom window and saw someone peeking out from behind the curtain. I thought to myself that maybe my girlfriend came home early from work, so me and my dog excitedly came upstairs. I called out to my girlfriend and there was no answer. I walked into my room and it was empty. The apartment was empty and my girlfriend didn't come home for another hour. I know this is ridiculous, but here goes anyway. I'm pretty sure that when I was around 4 or 5 years old, I was able to levitate upstairs. Only a few steps at a time, but yeah, I didn't realize that it wasn't normal and actually thought it was easier to just run up the steps. Pretty sure I saw Jim Morrison of The Doors 4 years ago at a small family-owned restaurant in western North Carolina. Anyway, guys, this is something a little different. I read this article like a week ago, and I thought it was pretty interesting. Now, all the credit for this article goes to Charlie Shaw at Thought Catalog. It's just a little article that he would compile together or something from posts on Reddit. So all these, they're all from different Reddit users, and I'll put links to everything in the description below, but this is the first half. I'll do the second half next week. I just procrastinated a little bit on the creepypastas this week. I'm working on a medium-sized project with another person doing some collaboration, so I didn't have a whole lot of time to do the narration stuff, so this is going to be just an unedited thing. I'll get the next half next week or the week after, and I just really thought this was really interesting. Let me know if you guys have had any of similar experiences in the comments below. What's the strangest thing you ever saw? I have a memory kind of similar to one of the ones talking about when they were children, they remember something specific, but I will talk about that next week, or whenever I do the next half of this video. Let me know your experiences in the comments below. I'm Night Siren, and I will see you guys next time.